It was a trial watched around the country, and now the Minnesota Court of Appeals is deciding whether it was conducted fairly. Oral arguments for Derek Chauvin's murder conviction for the death of George Floyd took place this morning. Lou Raguse has covered the case from the very beginning and explains the issues at hand right now. Hi, Lou.
Hi, Chris. Chauvin raised a lot of issues in his appeal, and today focused on whether holding the trial in Minneapolis was fair, whether a juror committed misconduct, and whether the second-degree murder charge was appropriately proved.
You may approach the podium and begin your arguments.
In front of the Minnesota Court of Appeals, William Moorman, attorney for former Minneapolis police officer Derek Chauvin, argued the key issue is whether a defendant can get a fair trial in a fortified courthouse surrounded by National Guard troops.
All of which or whom are there for one purpose: in the event that the jury acquits the defendant.
We, the jury, in the above
A Hennepin County jury convicted Chauvin of second-degree murder plus lesser offenses in the death of George Floyd for keeping his knee on Floyd's neck for 9.5 minutes. Almost immediately in the appeal oral argument, Judge Peter Reyes shifted the discussion to allegations of juror misconduct. As Chauvin argues, Brandon Mitchell was untruthful by failing to say he attended a Washington, D.C. protest event. Judge Reyes sounded skeptical.
I don't see how that testimony is false.
Representing the state, Neil Katyal said Chauvin's trial was one of the most transparent and thorough in our nation's history.
Now, Chauvin's many arguments before this court do not come close to justifying reversal. There was no abuse of discretion nor actual prejudice, and to the contrary, Judge Cahill managed this trial with enormous care.
Katyal did not face many skeptical questions from the judges. In Moorman's least opposed argument, concerned the fairness of the trial in Minneapolis.
The jurors that sat on this jury had a stake in the outcome of the case because they lived here where the riots occurred. If this case gets moved out state, the likelihood of having riots in the community where the jurors are living, I believe, will be zero.
The Court of Appeals will rule within 90 days. Even if the conviction is overturned, Chauvin won't get out of prison because he pleaded guilty to his federal charges with an even longer sentence. Chris.
All right. Thank you, Lou.